Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia. Parallel timelines and character development are all given to us and confirmed in the second route chapter following Rizu Ogata. Now, we'll be talking about chapter 153 in this chapter review. So, we'll be going all over that and much more. Now, how do we know that these different routes are running alongside a new and different parallel timeline? And by this, I don't mean the fact that they're redoing the ending part of the series. Nope. I mean that the series itself has changed to basically benefit the girl that we are following in these different routes. Because if we look at the first panel, that being this one, we've gone all the way back to the Christmas area, the Christmas part of the series, which is where Rizu had most of her development as a character. It's where she learned about her grand's feelings, it's where she changed dramatically afterwards, it's where her and her friends played board games all night long. And the fact that they've added more content to this scene makes the different timeline ideas sound more realistic. After all, why didn't they add this in the first place? Because by this point in the series, the idea of Yuiga and Uruka wasn't strongly in the minds of the audience, and it wasn't heavily foreshadowed. So adding this would not have hurt the ending that the manga had started out initially with Route 1 in the slightest. Therefore, that concludes, in my mind, that this basically is a different timeline in where an event plays out that drastically helps and benefits Rizu Ogata's character in terms of her development and love story towards Yuiga. Now then, this could lead to some very interesting things, however, as the fact is, we can now see more / new content from previous scenes, like this scene exactly, but involving the other female characters when their route appears. For example, we could get a scene in where it shows us what happens the next morning after Yuiga and Fumino wake up after sharing that bed in that hotel room after the food festival, I think it was. I can't remember what chapter it was, unfortunately, but you know what I mean. They always reference it with her character, Fumino's character, and we could actually see what happens afterwards, and maybe that becomes a big point of interest in the route that Furuhashi basically mans. And speaking of Furuhashi, I was very surprised to see her in this chapter, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Because, honestly, I never thought that we would see any of the other main female characters, apart from the character in which we were focusing on. So seeing Furuhashi come in was actually a nice kind of change of pace and a nice introduction. So, I don't really know what to say on that, because, to be honest, I thought that basically what would happen is that we would see the main focus character, so in this case with Route 2, it's Rizu, and whoever helps that main girl. So, basically, you know that whole festival thing? Everyone had their own sort of like fraction. We had the Thorn Roses, I think they were called, that were on Furuhashi's side. We had the Swim Club, which was on Uruka's side. We had Sekijo, that was on Rizu's side, and we've seen Sekijo a lot in these second route chapters. And then obviously we're going to have the maids on Azumi's side. So that's what I kind of thought we would see. We wouldn't see like Furuhashi getting involved or Azumi getting involved in either other routes. And I like the fact that we are seeing other characters, but hopefully they don't play a major role. And Furuhashi doesn't. She just plays a supporting role here, which, you know, Furuhashi's always been the supporting character when it comes to Rizu and Uruka's sort of feelings towards Yuiga, so there's no real qualms about that. But it's beach time, and why not? After all, we had a chapter about swimsuits last week, but Rizu in the swimsuit is not the main attraction for this chapter, however. It's the development on display from her character, and it really makes her character more likable and more enjoyable in this chapter as we read forward. So, in this chapter, she's a lot more straightforward. She basically asks Yuiga out, if I'm judging by the what is said. She basically says, look, can we go to this, or would you like to go to this rabbit-shaped rock? And honestly, that rabbit-shaped rock looks super cool. I'm not going to lie. It's great. But, you know, we have that kind of development showcasing. And she is also showing us the ability to understand and compile a list of facts and actions to determine a feeling of a person. And basically, she kind of does this with Yuiga by basically looking at his body language and how he reacts and how he basically says things, really. So, in this example right here, she's basically thinking about all the things Yuiga has done up till now, all the things that he said. You know, he didn't give her an answer about going to see the rabbit-shaped rock. And she's kind of thinking to herself, well, I guess he doesn't like me in that way. And this is good development for our character simply because it's, again, proving to us that she has earned her grades. But the fact is, she wouldn't have really picked up on this in early sort of stages. So seeing this now really does kind of tie that ribbon onto her character. Plus, we do get a bit of fun psychological warfare skills coming through with her character, as she basically baits Yuiga into playing the game in where if he can prove the jinx of two people being intertwined by fate is just superstition, then he wins, and if he falls in love with Rizu, then she wins, and so does the fan base that support her. Which, after all, we know that following this route, this is going to be the one and only game that Rizu finally wins at. So, congratulations! It's just a matter of chapters until we see her win. And prove to Yuiga that two people can, in fact, be intertwined by fate when it comes to love. However, not all is happy, sunshine, and rainbows, as it looks like trouble is ahead, as a high tide threatens to put the three of them in danger. Yes, I say three because the little ghost girl is still there with Rizu and Yuiga. And will Yuiga learn how to swim and conquer the waves, thus saving everybody? Or will Rizu be the one to save him? If they have her saving him, I really, really hope there is no swimming involved, as it would be very similar to something that Uruka would do. And honestly, I don't want to be comparing the two. So hopefully she uses her mathematics skills to kind of... Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if she just creates a projectile? She's got sits Yuiga on a rock with the rabbit head on or something. Gets a magic stick and just kind of pings, and he just flies over and just kind of shoots off like a bird or something to land in safety. Because obviously she's a mathematical genius, so she can project and predict and analyze and... Yeah, no, I'm going crazy. Anyway, the art style in this chapter was really nice. That's something to be very happy about. Especially this smiling scene. This right here is a adorable panel showing Rizu's smile when she sees Yuiga turning up. We can actually see the joy in her face, and her eyes are just sparkling, and she's blushing like crazy. And honestly, it's one of my favourite panels of Rizu that we've seen from this manga series thus far. Maybe not my favourite, but it is up there in the top 3. It just looks so nice, clean, and it's... I don't know, it's one of those ones that make you smile just by seeing her smile. However, that is not my favourite. My favourite panel from this chapter is, in fact, this one right here. It's the photo that's been taken by the guy at the beach, and he's just like, hey, wow, your swimsuits are great, you look great. Can I take a photo with you? And then Rizu's father is just like, I'm a demon. Sekijo's is like, I will kill you. You do not belong near her. And then you just got the girls going in the back going, hi. Oh, that panel is great. And what comes afterwards is Yuiga going, wow, you two are more scary than the ghost. Just adds to it and makes it that much more makes it funnier, basically. Now, this was a great chapter. There wasn't too much comedy in it, but that's okay. After all, it highlighted some great character development and relationship building qualities from the chapter. The art style was all nice, it flowed quite nicely, and it looked like something cool might happen in the next one. We just have to wait and see until that chapter drops. And always why was the brain fart there? And like I always say, I like it when they reference previous chapters, and scenes, especially when they kind of mean something and when they add more context and more content to it. So for example, we saw a flashback to the Christmas part. That's really cool because they build up on that and they expand it more. They make that part more interesting and it makes you as a reader remember that part. And because it was such a great part for Rizu's character, it's a perfect kind of segment for them to use to help build on and help finish off her character once and for all as we move forward. So that's going to end it for this review, but I do want to ask you as the audience one question. What was your favourite panel? Let me know down in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me, and until next time, I hope you'll have an amazing day, and I'll see you later. Bye.